everybody. Welcome to Coda Essentials. My name is Maria Marquis. So in this session, we're going to take a look at something called lookups. Now, it might sound simple, but it unlocks all kinds of really great potential to connect your information together. Because if you think about the things you do every day, you've got tasks that are connected to projects, that are connected to owners, that are connected to teams, that are connected to OKRs, that are connected to all manner of things. And nobody wants to have to make those updates in 12 different places. So lookups allow you to bring information together. So let's take a look. Over here inside of my task table, I've got a whole list of information. And maybe each of these tasks is part of a sub-project. So before I logged in today, I actually created a little master project list. I've got this table, it's called projects, with the different projects that we're working on, the leader, and then how challenging we think it's going to be. So what I could do is, instead of retyping the projects, I could actually just look up from that table. So let's go ahead and close that side panel. I'm going to right click here and insert to the left. And we'll call this the master project. And I'm going to change the format over here to be, all the way at the bottom, a lookup. And Coda is going to say, hey, here are the tables you have in your Coda doc. Are either of these the one you want? And in this case, we are going to choose the projects option. But if you hadn't created a table beforehand, you can choose this option here to create a new table, which is a great way to kind of keep yourself flowing and going. So we're going to say projects. And in this case, I don't want multiple selections, so I have it right here. Now, if I click that drop down, I can just go and select any of the projects that I'm interested in, just like so. And notice that they have a slightly different look to them. They have that little outline. That's because it's telling you, hey, this is a lookup from somewhere else. And you can hover over that and see all of the information from that table. In this case, the localization initiative is run by Maria Marquis, and it's 3 fires of challenge. But maybe you're like, you know what? I don't want to have to hover over it to find that information. I want to bring this information in automatically. Well, that's where you can do something called extrapolating your data, which is a fancy way of saying, hey, show me more about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert another column to the left, just like so, and we'll call this the project owner. And now what I can do is I can go ahead and type equals and say, hey, look at that master project, and then show me the project lead. I could do that and press enter. But if you're not really interested in doing things as a formula, cool thing about each of these lookup columns is that you can actually do that with just a few clicks. So this is that way to do it with a formula. But let's go ahead and delete that particular column. Now, if I click on this drop-down menu over here, I can go ahead and choose this, insert a related column. This is now available to me. And I can select from any of those items here. In this case, project lead might be what I'm looking for. And there it is. I've got all of the people. You can do that also if you're trying to add a new column far away from it. You could click on this plus sign and notice master project is now one of the column formats that we have available to us. So it's a nice way to pull in that information. So in this case, we've looked up from a different location. But maybe if you're looking at all of the tasks here, maybe these tasks have dependencies to them. You can also look up to the table that you're part of. So I'm going to go ahead and insert another column to the left. And we're going to call this the dependency. I think I've spelled that correctly. And in this case, we're going to change that to be a lookup. And I'm going to look up from the all tasks table, which is the table I'm in right now. So now when I click here, notice it's all of those tasks. And I could say, great, this is actually dependent on that. This is dependent on this. This is dependent here, and so on and so forth. I could then say, you know, I want to group this dependency. So I see all dependencies along the left. So I can see how all of these things are starting to be put together. Another way that lookups are really helpful is by actually summarizing information. So maybe I want to know, for each of these master projects, what are the tasks associated with them? Well, now that I have a lookup that I've already created, notice here under our lookup option, it's got that little blue dot. Lets me know, hey, something's new here. So now I can see where it's referenced. So I know that this is being pulled into the all tasks table. And if I click here, it's going to show me all of the tasks that are associated with it. Now, cool thing I could go ahead and say, you know what? I want to see this particular project table as a detail view. So I'm going to go ahead and change it by clicking Display, choosing Detail, and now I can see, great, all of those different projects, and I see the tasks, but maybe I want to see that in a table. Well, I just click on the shish kebab, customize my layout, and hey, I can toggle this on so I see it either as a basic row, or I toggle it on and see it as a table. So now when I press done, I can see all of those different subtasks in that table view, and I could go ahead and make changes here to them. So this is maybe done. And then if I head back to that all tasks view, my FAQs drafted is now listed as done. So lookups allow you to not only pull information into other places, but also summarize how it's at play inside of your organization. With that, start looking up, and we'll see you next time.